there's this important thing on earnings per share that I hadn't looked on. So I decided that maybe we should look at earnings per share. When are you writing?
Next week, Wednesday.
25.
24.
Oh, 24. That's what it was. Okay, let's see what happens here.
Okay.
So this time, are you going to hammer it?
I hope so.
Okay. Right. So I just wanted to show you how to do the earnings per share and the basic earnings per share. Right. Take Sinto Accounting Limited is an olive oil distribution company listed on the JSE. ML for all the group chief financial officers requested that you assist with the calculation of the EPS for the financial year. Right. Earnings per share reflects the profits that have been earned per each share. So you have to find the total profits, profits attributable to shareholders, to ordinary shareholders. Then you divide by what we call the weighted average number of shares. So you have to determine your profit, which is attributable to ordinary shareholders. Okay, let me just right, earnings per share. This is the profit that is earned per each share. So you know that the higher the earnings per share, the better. That will mean that the entity can be able to satisfy their ordinary shareholders after catering for any other external needs. Right. So it is calculated by dividing the earnings by the weighted average number of shares. Right. There are two levels of earnings per share. Right. We have got basic earnings per share. Right. Now the basic earnings per share only takes into account existing shares at year end. Then we also have what we call the diluted earnings per share. So this takes into account both existing and potential ordinary shares. So what are potential ordinary shares? Right, we're saying potential ordinary shares are financial instruments that are not ordinary shares at the moment at the reporting date, but may be converted into ordinary shares in future. For example, convertible debentures, share options, convertible preference shares. When they say they are convertible, that means in future they can be converted into what? Ordinary shares. So those are what we call a potential ordinary shares. So the diluted earnings per share also takes into account these potential ordinary shares. So we calculate as if they are now ordinary shares so that we can be able to see how to calculate them. Right. Right. So now we want to use this question to calculate our earnings. And so the question says, I don't know if we'll be able to finish it, calculate the basic and the earnings per share and the diluted earnings per share. So we'll see if we'll be able to finish them. All right, so let's start with the basic earnings per share. Right, our basic earnings per share, we calculate using this formula. Earnings attributable to ordinary shares divided by the weighted average number of shares. So you learn what to call the weighted. So let's first calculate earnings attributable to ordinary shares. All right, so this is the net profit less preference dividends. If not included in finance cost. Because we find that sometimes the preference dividend will have already been included in the finance cost. But if they are not included, then we have to deduct them. Right now, let's see what they are saying here. Mr. O provided you with the following information. Profit before tax, 5 million. So this is before tax. We need the one after tax. So we have to find the profit after tax. Then number two, tax into account Act Limited had 220 million ordinary shares in issue on 31 December 2019, while the authorized share capital was 60 million. So by the end of last year, they had 20 million shares. So that means that's the opening balance that we have. We are not interested in the authorized, we are interested in the issued. Right. Then on 1 January 2020, takes into Act Limited issued 10,000, 10% convertible bonds. The bonds mature 4 years from issue date and were issued at face value of 2,500 per bond. Interest is payable annually in arrears. The holder has the option to convert each bond into 1,050 ordinary shares of tax into account limited at any time during anytime until maturity date. If not converted into shares before maturity, the bonds will be settled in cash at a premium of 2.5%. The market-related interest rate for bonds without a conversion option was 12% per annum on 1 January 2020. The financial accountant is provided with the following calculation of the debt and equity split on the 1st of January 2020. So this is a potential ordinary share. They are not yet ordinary shares. So when we're calculating our basic earnings per share, we won't include these. Let's see. Well, they're saying what? I just want to check. No, these ones won't include them because it's not definite that they will be ordinary shares. But if they are compulsorily redeemable, then they will also be included in the basic earnings per share. So these ones, we'll look at them when we do part B. Right, on the 1st of March 2020, Tax Into Act was offered an opportunity to buy an avocado oil distribution company, Avovo Private Limited, that was in distress due to the impact of COVID-19. The board of directors of Tax Into Account regarded it as a perfect opportunity to expand their distribution channel and agreed to purchase Avovo Limited. A sale agreement was signed on the 30th of September 2020. The agreed purchase price for Avovo was 7.6 million. So they purchased for 7. They wanted to purchase 7.6 million. Right, on 1 April 2020, Tax Into Act had a rights issue of 1 ordinary share of for every Tax Into Account ordinary share held. The exercise price of the rights was R1.90, and the last day to exercise the right was 30 April 2020. All the rights were exercised on 30 April 2020. The rights trade separately from the ordinary shares from 2 April 2020. The market value of 1 ordinary shares at the close of the last day on which the shares traded together with the rights was R2.60 per share. Right, as long as there's a rights issue. What is a rights issue? This is an issue of shares to existing shareholders. This is an issue of shares to existing shareholders. So as long as there's a rights issue, we have to find what we call the adjustment factor, which will adjust the shares that are in existence before the rights issue. Right, for us to calculate it, okay, we're going to come back to this one. So we can calculate what we call the theoretical X-rights price. Right, to calculate our theoretical X-rights price, our formula is right? Would say shares in issue prior to rights issue times market price. Plus rights issue shares times rights issue price. Right. Divided by the shares in issue prior to rights issue. Plus rights issue shares. Right. So if we go back to our question, we know that the shares that were in issue before the rights issue, they were 20 million shares. Before the rights issue, we only had 20 million shares. Right. And the rights issue, they then issued one ordinary share for every 5, one for every 5. So we can say our rights issue shares one over 5 times 20 million, of which we are going to get 4 million shares. So these are the shares that we had. So to calculate our theory, and we know that the market price, it was the 260, whilst the rights price was 190. So to calculate our theoretical X rights price, we're going to say 20 million shares prior to issue multiplied by our market price. That is before the rights, the actual market price, which was 260. Then plus the rights issue shares, which are 4 million, multiplied by the 190, which is the rights issue price. Then we divide by 20 million plus 4 million. What do we get?
I get 248.
248, exactly. Because normally they want us to put two several decimal places.
It is 2,48333.
Okay, let me just check if they specified the number of decimal places. All right, just a second. Right. So I would say They didn't tell us. So you said you got one. Let's just put it 5 decimal places. You say 2.48333.
Yes.
Right. Then our adjustment factor is then, you will see where we are going to use it. Market price. Divided by the theoretical X-ray price. Maybe let me do this. I think my things will not look nice here if I leave it like this. I want to say insert. Then I say here. Let's check this. Right. So we're going to say our theoretical X price, our market price, remember, is 260 divided by 2.48333. What do we get?
I get 1,0469.
69. I
Eight.
just want to 5 decimal places.
8698.
Okay, that's our adjustment factor. Right. We put more decimal places to ensure accuracy, because we'll be dealing with millions of shares. So once you just put 2 decimal places, you might be lost there. You might get far away from the actual answer. So that's why we recommend using 4 or 5 decimal places. Right. So we need to use this. You will see where we are going to use that. Then on 1 January, June, the company issued 2 million redeemable cumulative preference shares at a discount of 5%. The total proceeds were 1.9, and the preference shares will be redeemed on 31 December 2025. The preference dividend is payable annually on 31 December. The effective interest rate is 13% per year, and the preference dividend was not accounted for in the group's profit before taxation for the current year. So when we calculate our earnings, we should remember to subtract this dividend because it had not yet been accounted for. Remember, I said that you subtract the preference shares, preference dividend, if it had not been accounted for. Right. Then on 1 August, it takes into account Limited granted its management team share options for the work performed on successfully completing the Taken Private Limited transaction. The team was collectively given an option to buy 500,000 ordinary shares of takes into account at 2 Rand each. The current value of the share is 2 Rand 55. Right. That means here there are shares that are just given. The bonus element, we have to calculate what we call the bonus element. The shares are running at 255, but they were given at 2 Rand. So we have to find how much of that is a bonus element. Is that right? So to get the bonus element, bonus element on share option. You shall need later. Right, we take the number of shares that they were issued, which is 500,000. Then we find what is the portion of 255 minus 2 rand. So we say 255 minus 2 rand divided by the market, which is 255, the market price, times the number of shares, which is 500,000. And we have to weight them. When we weight them, we count the number of months from when they were issued until end of year. These were issued on 1 August. And our year is ending in December. So 1 August up to December, that is 5 months. So we multiply by 5 divided by 12. What do we get?
I don't know if it's right. It's 44934.
449.
44934. Comma 64.
So you can say 5. These are shares. So I think these shares they are getting for Mahala. That's what we call a bonus element. That's the weighted average that we. Right. Then next, on 1 October, takes into account entered into an agreement to acquire control of Taken Private Limited. The purchase price payable was 10 million to be settled as follows: 50% of the purchase price payable in cash on 1 October 2020, the balance remaining settled through fresh issue of takes into account ordinary shares to the ordinary shares of Taken PTY at full market price of 250 per share on 31 October 2020. Right. So they are giving so we have to find the shares issued to these shareholders. So they are saying 10 million is paid in October. The balance will be settled through shares. So that means the other 50%. So to find the number of shares, we can just say number of shares issued to shareholders of what is the name of that company? Taken. Right. The number of shares would be 50% multiplied by 10 million divided by, they were issued at 250. What do we get?
I get 2 million.
2 million. Right. So that's 2 million shares. Right. Then number 9, On 1 November 2020, takes into account established a broad-based Black Economic Empowerment Trust for the benefit of the qualifying employees and their community. In terms of the trust deed, the trust will own 2% of the ordinary shares of takes into account. The 2% ordinary shareholding was acquired on 30 November by the trust through a bonus share issue of takes into account limited ordinary shares to the trust. So there's a bonus issue. Right. We have to first find out how many shares were there before the bonus issue. Right. Is there anything else here? Oh, that's 30 November. So we have to, this one was what? 30 November. So we have to start with this one. Takes into account issued 100,000 compulsorily convertible debentures on the 30th of November. These debentures are convertible to ordinary shares on the on 30 November 2025. Each debenture is convertible into 5 ordinary shares. So then we can say number of shares for convertible debentures. They said they are 100,000 and we are told that they will be issued at what? Each will be issued into 5. Right, so each they will be converted into 5. So multiply by 5. What do you get?
500,000.
So there are 500,000 shares. Right. Then we'll then go to the bonus issue. Right. Why did I start with the number 10 before number 9? It's because of the debt. This bonus issue, it was done on all shares that were there by 30 November. 2% of all the shares that were there by 30 November, of which these ones were also issued on 30 November. But these ones, if they'd been issued after 30 November, I was not going to take them into account. Right. Then they said, assume a tax rate of what? 28%. Right. Okay. So we can now calculate our bonus issue. Right. Right. Shares in issue before bonus issue. Will be equal. Remember that we had 20 million shares in the beginning. Then there was a bonus issue of 4 million shares. Right. Then we issued the shares to, I think we issued to Taken Private Limited 2 million shares. Then the convertible. I'm only looking at ordinary shares that were issued by that date. Right. These convertible debentures, they are considered to be shares because they are compulsorily convertible. So if they are compulsorily convertible instruments, you take them as shares from the beginning. Right. What do you get?
I get 26,500,000.
So this is 26,500,000. Right. So then the bonus issue, which is equal to 26,500,000 times 2%. What do you get?
It is 530,000.
530.
Yes.
Right. Then we can calculate our profit now. Right. So to calculate our earnings, I think there are two things that we need to adjust. There is we're given, remember that our profit was before tax. So they have our profit before tax. Which is $5 million. Right. Then income tax expense. We're told that is 28%. What do we get?
It is 1.4 million.
Right. Then we have got preference dividend. Right. Remember, they say that they not taken into account the preference dividend, which were these ones here. They issued 2 million redeemable cumulative preference shares at a discount of 5%. The total proceeds were 1.9 million. So all in all, they got 1.9 million. They were issued at a discount of 5%. And the preference shares will be redeemed on 31 December 2025. The dividend is payable annually on 31 December, and the effective rate is 13%. Right, so let's calculate our preference dividends. Right, the number of shares is equal to what? The proceeds, not the number, sorry, it's the proceeds from shares. The par value, sorry, of the shares. Why do we need the par value? Because the dividend is paid on the par value. Because these were issued at a discount and we got 1.9. So we have to find the par value. The par value is not paid on the discounted amount. It is paid on the original amount. So we have to find what was the 100% before they deducted the 5%. So that would be equal to 1.9 million divided by 95%. Why 95%? Because they've given a discount of 5%. What do we get?
I get 2 million.
It's what?
2 million.
So that means before the issue, they were 2 million. They were worth 2 million. Then the preference dividend. $2 million multiplied by, right, we're told that the preference dividend is 13%, right? And these were issued on 1 June. Remember that preference dividends are paid on a pro rata basis. So they will not get for the full year, they will only get June to December, which is 7 months. So would say times 13% times 7 divided by 12. What do we get?
I get 151,000 666
Not 667.
66.
So 667. We'll just round off this one.
Mm.
So minus 151, 667. Then we get what we call our basic earnings, or the earnings attributable to ordinary shareholders. So that is these are the earnings that belong to the ordinary shareholders. All right. Then we get our weighted average number of shares. Now, when you're calculating your weighted average number of shares, you have to go in the order of the dates that are given. Right, we can do a calculation here of the shares. All right, that's why we'll be using some of those calculations that we're doing there. We have the shares outstanding, the adjustment factor, fraction of the year, weighted average shares. Right. Right. Remember that our shares were 20 million from the beginning of the year. They only changed in they were 20 million from the beginning. Then they only changed in on 30 April when there was this rights issue. So that means from 1 January until 30 April, we were 20 million shares. So we can say 1 January to 30 April. Shares in issue. Right. We had 20 million shares. Then our adjustment factor, which we calculated sometime back, that's where we use it. That was 1.046698. 1.04698. Fraction of the year is the number of months. Here, this is 4/12. So we can say 4/12. 4 over 12. Right, now to get our weighted average number of shares, you say 20,000 times adjustment factor times 4 over 12. What do we get?
I get 6,979,866.
6,000, not 6 million.
Oh, I did. Yeah, 6 million.
900 what? This one give us to the nearest whole number now.
Okay, I'll start again. $6,979,000.
Eh?
6,979,866,6.
6 what?
It is
Up.
6,979.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you properly.
Okay, it is 6,979,866,6.
867.
Mm.
Right. Then on 30th April, we then get our rights issue. Which resulted in 10 million shares. Right. Then after that 30 April, the next share issue was on that is ordinary shares. These shares that were issued to take it on 1 October. Right. And they were, when were they excited? Okay, they were taken on 31 October. So that means from these shares that we have here, this no, not 10 million, sorry, it was 4 million, this one. So we can say 1 May to 31 October. Our shares were now 24 million. Right, and we don't use adjustment factor. Then these months were May to October. It's how many months? 6 months. What do we get? Now we don't use the adjustment factor. After the rights issue, we no longer use the adjustment factor. I think we get 12 million.
12 million. Mm.
Right, then 31 October. Shares issued to, what was the name of that company that they issued to? Taken Private Limited. Right, we calculated them. We found them to be 2 million. Then we get right. These shares were there until the next issue, which was the convertible debentures which were issued on 30 November. So that means these shares were there from 1 October to 30 November. Right. So which is how many months? 2 months. No, this one it's not. It's 1 November. Is that right? Because these were issued on 31 October, so it's 1 November. Sorry about that. It's 1 month. What do we get?
It is 45,500,000.
45,500,000. How can it be 45 million? 26 million times 1 over 12. It should be less, most.
It is 20. It is 2,166,666,67. Yeah.
Is that right? Then we have got what? On 30 November. That's when they have an issue of compulsorily redeemable shares. We calculated them. We found them to be 500,000. Then we get so these were the shares in issue from 1 December to 31 December. Right, which is 1 month. What do we get?
We get 2,208,333,3.
So it's 333. Right. Then we'll have our bonus issue. Our bonus issue, it doesn't have money. Remember that when you issue shares as a bonus issue, they are for free. So we take them as they are, and we don't have to wait the months. That's 530, which we calculated here. So to say what? 530. Here, there's no waiting on the bonus element because it doesn't bring in cash. So we just take them as they are. Then we get our weighted average number of shares. Right, so the weighted average number of shares was our weighted average number of shares. So then to get our basic earnings per share, we take our earnings, which we calculated up there. That's 3,448,333. Then we divide by the weighted average number of shares, which is 2,738,333. Is this correct? I think my answer is wrong here. It's too little here. I was supposed to say equal to sum.
You
I was supposed
added
to
the
add
last
everything.
two.
So that's 23,884,867. What do you get?
It is 0,11437.
1143. Like this.
Yes.
All right. Normally we express it in cents. 114. It's 11 point what? 437 cents. Right. So that's how we determine our basic earnings per share. It's very easy, isn't it?
No.
Right. So maybe may you try to do the diluted. Is that right?
Okay.
Right. I will inform you if there are any adjustments, because I wanted to also see you, so I don't know how I will balance it. Because of load shedding, there are a lot of classes that are being pushed to the weekend and stuff like that. So I will see how I'll balance it. If I fail to see you weekend, I will try to maybe see you maybe Monday or Tuesday in the evening.
All right, no, it's fine.
It's unfortunate that the day that I might see you might be Tuesday. So maybe we can try to say maybe Tuesday we can start it around maybe 8 and finish maybe around 10 or past 10. Because you need to sleep. You're writing at 8.
I think it's the afternoon. It's not.
No, if it's
later in the morning, yeah.
So if it's later, then we can try to push maybe from 8 up to around half 10 or so. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.